Welcome to the Fragrance Nut. Hey, if this is your first time viewing, welcome. If you're returning, deeply appreciated. Hey, we're going to talk about one of my favorite fragrant houses, and that is none other than Guerlain of Paris. And I have quite a large haul, so we're not going to be able to do this all in one video, so we're going to have to break this up because still there are more packages coming from Guerlain of Paris. And so as I get them in, and then some of them are limited editions, there's one-time shot deals, so once I get them, can't be repurchased, won't be duplicated, will not be, so you can say discontinue before they become discontinued. That's got to be a new idea. But anyway, let's get into this one. We're going to do a couple of the samples first. And then we're going to talk about some Guerlain lotions too. I don't believe these will be discontinued if any one of you out there are interested in that. But let's talk about some of the smaller stuff that came along with it. Okay, so this first one we're going to talk about is it's called, there you go. So it's called Herb Troublants, and it was created in 2021. Of course, that's when, as always, if you're familiar with Guerlain, the House of Guerlain, you talking about Thier-Wasser. And then later Delphine Jelk has come on, I'd say within the last, maybe, I want to give her at least 10 years maybe. And she's been doing some really extremely good work. I'm really, really proud to purchase some of the Guerlain from her works. Anyway, but this one here is a herbal, as you can see it says herb. So it has not a lot of things going on in this. There's some mint, there's some bergamot, there's some orange blossom, some thyme, and rosemary. I wore this the other day, so my review on this is just brief, but what I would say about it is you do get the mint. It is green, and I was looking for some type of green tea, but I don't think it's in this one here, but one of the others that are coming up in the review does suit what I'm looking for. But anyway, it's just a beautiful, freshy, green herbal scent, which I personally am not attracted to. So I'm not going to purchase this, but however, I'm not knocking someone who does like herbals, or to me, herbal almost give you the idea of shampoo, and that's not, I don't need much shampoo. So anyway, this next one we're going to get into is Neroli Plein Sud. Now this one is a little bit more interesting. It does have some ginger in there, and I'm not a real spicy guy, so probably not gonna pull the trigger on this, but I do like this a little bit better than I do the first that I showed you. And it has some turmeric, it has some cinnamon, there's some neroli, there's Tunisian orange blossom, and then finally the vetiver and the sandalwood. Now in here you do get the ginger right off the bat, as you should, because it's in the top notes. It's gonna probably last you maybe 2-3 minutes, and then it gets on into the heart of the fragrance, and that's where the action is. That's in that neroli, and that's the Tunisian orange blossom. And then you got that vetiver, and that vetiver does come out and then smooth things out with the sandalwood. And then finally, one that came out in 2025, that Neroli Plein Sud came out in 2024. But this one here is a limited edition, and it's a cherry blossom melisme. And it came out last year, 2025. Now I put this on, and this here, the other two, as I mentioned, were unisex. I don't personally believe that there is any such thing as even unisex, because all fragrance, if you love it, you like it. So, but they use the word unisex just to say that anyone can wear it. But I personally feel like if you like florals, and because women tend to like florals, so damn what? Your chemistry is going to change certain things. And yeah, it may be similar. Someone might recognize what you have on as male or female, whatever. But your chemistry will change it. And even as you age, the what you put on last year won't smell the same this year, because your chemistry is steady changing. Your skin gets a little dry, so you should moisturize and oil things. Maybe put it on your clothes if you want to be reminded of last year. But those are the breaks. But anyway, this one really does get my attention, and I would say that it's not feminine. In my opinion, they said it's for women, but this here, if it is, it's a very, very mature woman. So, and even a young person, I guess 25 could be considered mature. But this here is not sweet at all in the slightest. It is a dead serious cherry blossom. And the green tea sits real well in here, and there's some bergamot at the top. Then that jasmine and lilac, those three, and that cherry blossom, they are really performing together quite nicely, real smooth, no sharp edges at all. And then finally, to lock things in, as they always do, you will find musket in the base of this, and it's excellent. So I give this a 10 out of 10. In my opinion, I didn't rate the other two because I wasn't too crazy about them, but if I had to rate them, I say they still, if you're getting a Guerlain anyway, you can't really go bad with Guerlain. Even the quality is always going to be top notch. Even the Allegoria, I believe it is, I bought some things from that. That's the lower tier. These are the top tier. So then what I mean by that, you're going to spend pretty good for them, but you're going to get your money's worth. And finally, the lotion. I got Musk Ultra Blanc. And the Neroli Ultra Noir. And I'm going to show you these. I mean, these things are heavy. I mean, somebody breaking the house, you can knock that motherfucker out with just this. Not only you have to pull out my 9mm or my 40, just this. You can see I've been, and you can just pull this off here. This keeps it from pumping. Whoop. Don't want to drop it. It's glass. And of course, this one's one of my favorite here, though. But the one Neroli has that green tea, and that's what I've been looking for. But I believe this cherry blossom and that Neroli, or this one will do quite nicely. Excuse the traffic noise, because I really wanted to get outside here in St. Louis. It feels pretty good right now. The 4th of July it is. So happy 4th. Anyway, I have a lot more samples to get into, and then next week I should get another large haul of the Guerlain, and then we're going to go to the house of Chanel, and we're going to probably look at pulling the trigger for the parfum version of 1957, which is beautiful. And I wanted to get the exclusive line from which I have others from that line, but when I smelled the 1957, that did it, and I just waited and hoping, and my wish came true, and that is it came with the 1957 parfum. I have even more high tier fragrances than this, but if I didn't ever go any higher. Now these, I didn't tell you what this might cost, just in case it grabs your interest. These are, I think, about $120 each. And then, of course, that if you were ever interested in that, the Guerlain Cherry Blossom, which is limited edition, I believe that's sitting around $800. Anyway, a lot more. If this is what you like, hey, leave comments. We can talk about this thing of smelling good, because it's one of my favorite things to do. I've been doing it for 50 years. And hey, let's talk about it. See you in another video. Happy 4th. Bye.